Sabrina from the future will look like, and take the place of Sabrina Spellman as Sabrina Morningstar. In Hell. Today in Minutes, the chilling adventures of Sabrina. Season 4 to Sabrina Part 4. Everything continues with Sabrina Spellman returning to the Spellman house. But with a fairly quiet life right now in Sabrina, the truth was not expected but quickly. The terrors invoked by Father Blackwood do not take long to appear, being the first. The arcane darkness a terror manifests through these miners of all the lamps of Greendale. So Sabrina is forced to call Sabrina Morningstar. The other Sabrina stayed in hell. Here they use her star to disappear this first-dimensional terror, but it is not that simple. She is already in charge of exposing all the negative thoughts she has forgotten. Even so, the Morningstar manages to open and extinguish the darkness, ending up trapped. But after this, the truth is Sabrina's life gets very boring. Activate the Tinder mode and take advantage of the incident. Sabrina Morningstar is Greendale dating these guys this way to stop feeling alone because all of her friends were in a relationship. Good evening, Melvin. I'll see you at the academy. Bye-bye. But it doesn't take long for the second-dimensional Earth. The uninvited a homeless person to your house, or reading to look in stale fish with a card help me, into your door to pass the food and then it will be. But if you don't, he'll tear your heart out with his hand. Sabrina Morningstar. On the other hand, she tells Sabrina Spellman. They married Caliban while Aunt Hilda Spellman went home with Dr. Cerberus. That was Father Blackwood. She tells the uninvited person to go to the wedding, and if they don't make him come in, then everyone. So Faustus and his wife are in charge of cleaning and dressing this beggar. So when he arrives at Hilda's wedding, no one recognizes him as he is not invited, and they do not let him pass. AC wants to kill everyone. However, Sabrina offers to take him to Sabrina Morningstar's wedding in hell. Remember, Yaga was going home with Caliban Sabrina, just as she does, and takes him, and just with the wedding Sabrina tells the uninvited man to get married. You will always have a welcome place in two kingdoms, and forever you will be the guest.
Actini cu Lucife.
House of the Two Sabrinas to Sabrina Morningstar, with Caliban and Sabrina Spellman with him uninvited. But don't worry, because all this was a trap to trap the uninvited this dimensional terror in Sabrina Spellman's little haunted house. After this, the dark after entry, there are two Sabrinas in the same space. Time to be forever with Sabrina Spellman. Now Sabrina, with all her sadness, is already returning to Greendale. But as soon as the third-dimensional terror arrives, the rare one characterized by an octopus, a mollusk from your insides, and the body of Sabrina Spellman. For this, he infiltrates a corpse into the funeral home where Ambrose worked, and we see how are you on a platter. Then he leaves the corpse and goes to Sabrina, while Sabrina, on the other hand, was with her own happiness. That is to say, a boy at school unfairly knew Sabrina another boy, perhaps because of her personality. It's busy. No. While Q, on the other hand, Caliban and the demons of hell told Lilith that her son would be born dead, but it did not happen later. Sabrina in class can't cause the lab's mollusca because the pain room AC home drinks some water and scares the new boy Q she was meeting because his mouth looked like an octopus tentacle. Here Ambrose does a CT scan and they notice her. The molluscus is inside her. So later on we also entered that Rose is a witch, and for everything she was going well. But not because this weird hadn't completely left Sabrina. If she wasn't in her brain manipulandum of her AC that one of the witches decides could her brain come out this time and Ambrose freeze it, and that's how we see the third arcane demon yesterday. Meanwhile, We have the plot of Harvey and Ross with conflict already. The account Q is a witch. Look out, Harvey with the witches, and the fourth-dimensional terror is not long this time with Advantage's salesman, who arrives at the Blackwood Temple and offers him several objects, among them, the Demon of Privacy. An object Q is capable of fulfilling any wish. This was Father Faustus. He does not hesitate to make his wish, thus ending up becoming the Emperor of Greendale. Apparently Ross and Sabrina are the dolls Q are not affected while everyone else wants under Blackwood's wish. Sabrina heads to the Spellman house, but she only finds Ambrose, who is leaving and was also affected by Blackwood's wish. Then Sabrina to look for Aunt Zelda, but she also realizes Q was under the influence. Even so, he helps her while Q Ambrose, upon leaving Greendale, ends up regaining consciousness and finding the cellar again this time. She was offering them another relic, the Stone of Cronus. He goes to Sabrina and tells her to make a delicious and exquisite stone soup, and everyone they consume begins to regain their consciousness. To all your students of the hot silver of reality. And like him, the one from Blackwood had to kill several witches including Nick Scratch plus Kiss. But in the end, Lauren removed the Demon of Privacy from Black Sabbath AC. That Sabrina said that everything should be as before everything. Go back to how it was before the disturbance. It is when Prudence, Massachusetts, in front of Faust's appropriate ending for its species. Nicholas Scratch
Decide.
Changed to Greendale School, and everyone was preparing for the next dimensional lands becoming stronger, and even now we have trash around here. Conversation for Lucifer, here Caliban, and where he is unfairly discussed begins to descend. A celestial, an angel, and gave them solutions to avoid the three-dimensional ones. The first is to kill either of the two Sabrinas. The second is like this, 6 each for their last moments. While Sabrina Morningstar was giving the last touch of her with her friends, in the moment of truth arrives the angel, begins to unite them. But in the end, everyone feels, and the witches kill this angel. But that's not the only problem. Thus the two Sabrinas decide an era to infinity, another of the three-dimensionals, and it is an arduous game. Stone fight, scissors, or paper. Sabrina Morningstar will have yesterday. To the Morningstar house. What kind of serious queen they die? Meanwhile, Lilith had killed her son so that Los Infernos would leave him to hell. Meanwhile, another of the closed three reveals the resurrected a terror to all the dead to life, including the Greendale School gang, Edward Spellman, Sabrina's father Good, the foster father, and Dorcas. Obviously many more dead and dead and dead. But the time for the results is Madame Bovary, who wants a great game. Voodoo against the hours. The dimensional terror. The dead and the living suffer for all eternity more. Forward. We see how Madame is losing the game, and the dead are beginning to take over everyone, and how Lilith was cursed.
She tells Caliban la tralalala.
With her life and not having this mortal life. Consider what has been done. Gowan as it is. However, as he was storming around his baby here in murder, he decides to kill Lazarus, thus ending up defeating this dimensional terror. Madame Bovary, however, reveals herself and tells him that he will have to return to the dead. That goes back to the underworld. Then Sabrina arrives at the Kingdom of Infinity and finds herself on a very strange trip where everything was different. Everything was a place. It's a mountain of recording sets where she is forced to the woods. Q wrote Salim, a cat, and so she keeps recording over and over again, and it is this place that Infinity finds its replacement for Sabrina's original tin. Everyone had a replacement. The replacements slept under the cameras. The main actor Sabrina turned one eye and found Elspeth. Elspeth, rideau, clear. It is in this place that everything we have seen in the previous installments of Sabrina ends. In the green dressing room is Ambrose, who is in charge of the food for Salem and the bill. All this is infinity and everything is repeated for eternity. But Sabrina Morningstar doesn't realize this is the last cycle of infinity. After her last performance, there are no more soldiers written. Salem first did not believe it, but the game understands it, and they decide to escape from it, or better yet, the void. The last dimensional terror one consumes everything and is passing through infinity. So Sabrina begins to escape. Zelda and Hilda were working for the AC vacuum that wants to catch them. However, I managed to escape through its mirror towards the earth, but it is too late.
Sabrina Morningstar dies.
I love this. Nick Murray. Sabrina Spellman feels very bad about the death of Sabrina Morningstar. AC. DC, destroy the abyss once and for all. Remember that the devil has AC. That is going to be a wish. However, the summer salesman arrives and offers Pandora's box to the empty Sabrina before sending a letter to all her loved ones saying goodbye to her because she knew there was no way back after the portal in her mirror and she towards the abyss. She arrives at a place where she finds planets. A place with a white background with huge letters. Crossing the void. The vacuum. Sabrina opens Pandora's box and starts emptying it while Ambrose was looking for Salomon. She tells him that she went into the void. So they meet up with everyone and try to teleport her back to Earth. However, it is impossible. Ambrose is a great idea and stars Sabrina Spellman. The corpse of Sabrina Morningstar. So all the witches start singing, Sabrina the Void. Still bring up Sabrina's conscience. And everything seemed perfect, but not the truth. Because things happened to start disappearing in a strange way later on. Lilith. She tells Caliban and Lucifer. Sabrina Morningstar is dead and the Spellmans are deep in her body using Sabrina Spellman's consciousness in the body of the Queen of Hell. In exchange for this, Lilith's powers return to her. Bang with the demons to the Spellman house to claim Sabrina Morningstar's body. Sabrina to not have magic ACCU, all the demons attack them included. Caliban and Sabrina. They disappear and Lucifer. He returns to hell where he is betrayed by Lilith and banished. This is a gesture. Ambrose does a CT scan on Sabrina Spellman where he notices. This is saying that she has nothing inside her. Sabrina decides to exile herself and goes to the Mountains of Madness where she meets Blackwood. But before Nina for all the knowledge necessary to master the void. While Nicholas Scratch was going to space to bring Pandora's box, he was with Sabrina Spellman's body, already for her gift on her day, a color, and with that there would be. That way I could always find. Weeks. Ambrose Prudence airs towards the Mountains of Madness, where Sabrina is revealed to be weak with a cane, and she can barely walk with it. The purpose of containing the abyss to control it. Even his friends. Them. A secret message to Ambrose where they return on the day Q Blackbird. He plans to sacrifice him that day soon and later. Everyone finishes the Mountains of Madness, where Sabrina will open the portal to the void and Nicholas will have to enter adrenaline. But this happens, she has to start bleeding, and as we see her blood is white, representing what she is the void. The portal opens to all those who had suctions and Nicholas finally achieved vacuum and everything was perfect. No, Sabrina had lost a lot of blood while this was happening. Sabrina remembers everyone's birthday, the day she doesn't want her to leave, but it's too late.
Sabrina Spellman dies.
Later, we have Sabrina's funeral for both of them with an ending. The truth is, too sad. Sabrina is presented in the sweet hereafter, and someone Latacha in the back, and it is nothing more and nothing less. Nicholas. Scratch, who was the Sea of Lamentations? That is to say, she is dead, and this is how Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Season 4 ends. Sabrina's World Part 4. But you can let us know this in the comments. Leave to like and subscribe for more content. This was all goodbye and greetings.